At Orphe Jeans, Leslie tells Jan that she and Ted are getting closer. To her surprise, he even suggested they might become friends. Meanwhile, Ted is having breakfast with Eva at the club. He wants to make up for lost time, even suggesting that she start calling him Dad. He says Eva reminds him of the Leslie he knew years ago and that he's proud. Later, Ted apologizes to Nicole for his behavior and says that if she wants to invite Carlton to be her escort to Winterfest, he'll respect that. When Leslie catches up with him at the hospital and learns that Ted asked Eva to call him Dad, she's clearly moved. They share a hug, which is, of course, witnessed by Nicole. Hayley and Bill go from talking about a tropical vacation to him suggesting they buy a second home somewhere sunny. Quicker than you can say, search Zillow, they've found a seaside home, and Bill's making an offer on it. Once the offer is accepted, Bill announces he's putting the place in Hayley's name. Soon after, Mrs. Richardson crosses paths with Joey Armstrong at Orphe Jeans. Things start out friendly until he mentions the secret she and Randy are keeping. She quickly loses her cool, laughing off the supposed affair, and then threatening to sue both Joey and Sammy. She storms out, but the look on Joey's face makes it clear he thinks the so-called lady doth protest too much. Tomas makes it clear he would like to talk about anything other than his groin injury, which Kat has been kinda obsessing over. They are joined by Madison and Chelsea, the latter of whom can't help but ask the attorney, "How's it hanging?" This annoys Madison, prompting Chelsea to tell Kat that she and her girlfriend are having issues, which quickly become obvious. Much to Chelsea's surprise, Kat takes Madison's side. When Madison tells Nicole about the issues she and Chelsea are having, the shrink suggests that if the women want to make their relationship work, they'll have to develop better communication skills. Running into Tomas at the club, Eva is surprised when he reveals that her new pal Isaiah is Jacob's brother. In other words, she's throwing sparks with the brother of a guy who's been working overtime to bust her mom. Hey babes, welcome back to Gossip Delight. It's your girl Daisy, and trust me, today's tea is scorching, steamy, and absolutely unmissable. Buckle up, because we're diving straight into the drama. Beyond the Gates spoilers for Friday, October 31st indicate that Joey Armstrong will do something to rattle Hayley Hamilton, while Chelsea Hamilton lands in Dr. Madison Montgomery's bad books. With it being the Halloween episode, and a Friday at that, fans should brace for spooktacular drama, romance, sprinkled in with a little chaos. So let's get into it. First off, Joey and Hayley will have an encounter that leaves her unsettled. Joey believes that Hayley's having an affair with his henchman, Randy Parker. After all, he caught Hayley in some after-hours security video cam footage. And when he confronted Randy, the man covered up by telling him that the two were doing the deed. Meanwhile, they are cousins, conspiring to off Bill Hamilton for his $10 million life insurance policy. Randy was trying to sway Joey away from questioning him, but was it a good idea to tell his boss that they were lovers? This lie may end up biting Randy and Hayley in the butt. Meanwhile, BTG spoilers for Friday's show reveal that Eva Thomas will be given an offer that is sure to bring her closer to someone special in her orbit. She and Isaiah Hawthorne have been spending a lot of time together lately, so is he the one presenting her with a proposal of sorts? Across town, Anita Dupree hopes an event that is coming up will heal some trauma from the past. Beyond the Gates, fans were excited on social media earlier this week when the CBS soap's closing credits showed actress Benita Brisker reprising the Sharon Winger role. Sharon will likely appear on the October 30th episode, so can she and Anita move forward and leave their past drama behind? Finally, Beyond the Gates spoilers remind viewers that last week, Madison was complaining to Chelsea about cutting out her toxic mom from her life. The two were enjoying a meal at the country club, as Chelsea tried to reason with her, but Madison was done with her mom undermining her expertise as a medical professional. Madison also warned Chelsea not to meddle. However, Chelsea fluffed off her gal pal's advice. It looks like Chelsea will try to be the hero and reunite this struggling mother-daughter duo, but she may end up losing Madison in the process. Beyond the Gates spoilers suggest that Chelsea and Madison make a cute couple, but every romance needs to experience its ups and downs, so it looks like the ladies are headed for trouble. Let's look at what's been turning heads and stomachs this week on Beyond the Gates. A quick look at the highlights, best quotes, and gasp-worthy moments for the week of 27th October 2025. As we head into the weekend and eagerly await our next helping of BTG after the weekend, here's a celebration of all the wonderful moments we got this week. Ted has had a great week. Bravo, Mr. Robinson. We have seen Ted stand up for himself. We have seen him be rational and considered in his approach, and the only moment he lost his cool was when Carlton and Nicole goaded him together. The realization after that really drove home some character progression and a better Ted. There was a really great scene of dialogue between Ted and Leslie, and they put a lot of the baggage they had together behind them. The connection is still strong there, but Ted is no longer trying to impress Nicole or fight for something that's truly lost. Another heartwarming scene was at the country club in Friday's episode, where Ted told Eva how impressed he was with her and all she has become, and that he wanted her to be able to call him Dad, and that her mom did a fine job of raising her. Eva had happy tears, and that was magic. When Ted told Leslie that he had had that conversation with Eva, Leslie was more than overjoyed at that and told Ted that he had given Eva something she had wanted all her life, a father and the approval from her father. Ted and Leslie hugged it out, and you couldn't help but feel for the two of them and wonder what things might have been like if he had have left Nicole, or he had known that he had a daughter all those years ago. Of course, Nicole just happened to walk around the corner as Ted and Leslie were hugging and straightaway adopts her patent look of disapproval. I'm sure she will have plenty to say about that when she returns to her nest of harpies. BTG spoiler alert. Here are your Beyond the Gates spoilers for the week of Monday, November 3rd to Friday, November 7th, 2025. Be sure to tune in to CBS every weekday to see how everything plays out in Fairmont Crest. Monday, November 3rd. Anita is completely overwhelmed, while Vernon has a secret rendezvous. Derek asks Shanice for a favor, but gets a reality check instead. Eva has a major update for Leslie where Ted is concerned. Naomi takes her frustrations out on those closest to her. Bill makes it clear to his ex where his allegiance lies. Jacob seeks expert help from Nicole. Hayley and Randy deal with a precarious situation. Vanessa gains control of one of Joey's prized possessions. Pamela presses Andre for answers. Ashley makes a stunning discovery. Nicole extends an unexpected olive branch to Ted. Danny and Andre discuss his painful past. Leslie thinks it's only a matter of time before she and Eva are a family of 3. Joey has a surprising reunion with an old pal. Someone's deceit causes heartbreak for 2 couples, while another duo deepens their relationship. And Vanessa's new endeavor causes a stir at the country club. Samantha pleads with Smitty and Nicole for help, while Martin and Kat have a blowout argument. Shanice stirs the pot with Ted. Beyond the Gates. Daily YAPP for Friday, October 31st. Welcome to the Beyond the Gates Daily YAPP for a quick, and by that I mean you're already halfway done, recap of the most amazing or what the heck did we just watch moments on today's episode. Let's get to it. Finally, someone told Chelsea that HSE's overstepping and not everyone needs her brand of help. It's been a long time coming, and the Duprees often fell like they can involve themselves in others' lives any old time they want to. Today, whilst getting coffee, Chelsea made a crack at Tomas for having some below-the-belt injuries. Tomas left after telling Chelsea that it was funny the first 50 times, but not anymore. Madison then connected Chelsea's inability to keep things to herself to the way Chelsea went behind Madison's back to talk to her mother after being explicitly told to leave it alone. Chelsea tried to explain it, but failed as she always does to understand where the other person is coming from, and realized that so many things are just not her business or place to insert herself. It always feels like Chelsea does these things because of the way it will make her feel about herself rather than the actual outcomes for the other people concerned. Great work, Kat, on calling your cousin out for it and telling her straight, even though she didn't want to hear about it. The look on Chelsea's face after made it clear she still doesn't see how she's in the wrong. Stop making it all about you and what you want, Chelsea. Want more details? We got you! Soap Central has the best full recaps on the internet. You can even go back over 30 years and read each one of them. If you can't wait until the next episode, we have daily spoilers too. And whatever you do this weekend, do not, seriously, do not, forget to read the 2 scoops for some laughs in the as close as we can come to being a watching party without actually being a show. And the best part is if you agree or disagree, we want to know. As always, share your comments below. Beyond the Gates spoilers for the week of November 3 to 7 suggest that Joey Armstrong will admit he offed Doug McBride to Vanessa McBride, while Ashley Morgan will catch Derek Baldwin standing up from his wheelchair. The BTG weekly preview just dropped, so it's time to talk about all the craziness that is set to unfold in Fairmont Crest. The promo opens with Vernon Dupree in his mansion. He's all hush-hush on his mobile with someone unknown, as he insists he knows what he's doing and to let him do things his way. As the scenes shift, he's arriving at the local hotel and knocks on a room door. While the woman opening the door cannot be seen, she has short hair. However, from behind, she looks a lot like Leslie Thomas, donning one of her funky wigs. Why would Vernon be secretly visiting the very woman who's launched such a terrible attack on his family? Across town, Shanice Johnson is at the nurse's station, presumably talking to Derek on the phone. She warns her friend and patient that if he doesn't confess soon, he'll regret it. The next clip shown is Derek, standing up from his wheelchair just as Ashley walks into their apartment. Ashley happily proclaims, "OMG, this is incredible! Look at you!" Meanwhile, there's a wave of relief on Derek's face as he awkwardly smiles. As the Beyond the Gates promo for the week of November 3 to 7 continues, Martin Richardson is at home, and he's telling Samantha Richardson that this is her last day. From the sounds of things, Martin will likely ground Samantha from being the Chelsea Cat Purse's brand ambassador. Samantha is very emotional when she asks him why he would take my dream away, and then boldly exclaims, "I hate you!" Bradley, Smitty Smith, and Tyrell Richardson are there when this all goes down. Samantha then storms out of the house, as Smitty tells her to. Wait! Is Samantha running away from home? From one angered daughter to another, the next clip in the BTG preview shows Ted Richardson at the hospital with Eva Thomas, while Shanice is working at the nurse's station. Eva states, "I called him Dad," while Catherine Cat Richardson is shown, and the look of disgust on her face says it all. Nicole Dupree can be seen in the background as Cat states that she hopes he enjoys the one daughter he has, because he can't have both of them, and then she storms off. As the Beyond the Gates weekly video closes, the last scene is Joey and Vanessa McBride at the country club. A woman interrupts their meal. However, it's not known exactly what she says to warrant an over-the-top response from Joey. The casino owner smugly states that he killed off Vanessa's husband so he could have her all to himself. Vanessa is then shown, looking horrified, and the preview is done. Beyond the Gates spoilers hint that Joey will fluff the statement off as a joke, but will Vanessa start to see just how dangerous her new love interest really is? Beyond the Gates Daily YAPP for Thursday, October 30th. Welcome to the Beyond the Gates Daily YAPP for a quick Nundies. And by that, I mean you're already halfway done. Recap of the most amazing or what the heck did we just watch moments on today's episode. Let's get to it. This is a doozy. So Nathan ran into Tyrell and Jessica at Orphe Jeans and told the budding chess whiz that he can't wait to add his sister's name to his body count. Nathan is lucky this conversation took place in a nice neighborhood, or at least out of earshot of Danny Dupree. That would have gone south so fast, Danny would have gelded him in the restroom, or worse. I couldn't get past the fact that Samantha has been looking older over the past few episodes, and I realized it was her new hairstyle, the twin pineapples on her head. It came as a shock to me to find out that Samantha is portrayed by someone much older than the girl she plays. This is going to have to be a recast at some point. I discovered that Nathan, her boyfriend, is even older, but doing an amazing job of playing a high school-age kid, for real. I was stunned to find out some actual ages, and no, I am not going to put their ages here. That has no bearing on their talent at all. No wonder Tyrell didn't want to fight Nathan. Can't throw hands at your elders, Lowell. Want more details? We got you! Soap Central has the best full recaps on the internet. You can even go back over 30 years and read each one of them. If you can't wait until the next episode, we have daily spoilers too. And whatever you do this weekend, do not, seriously, do not, forget to read the 2 scoops for some laughs in the as close as we can come to being a watching party without actually being a show. And the best part is if you agree or disagree, we want to know. As always, share your comments below. Next week on Beyond the Gates, expect heartbreak, revelations, and plenty of pearl clutching. As pasts resurface and secrets unravel, one schemer in particular shakes things up for everyone. Next week on Beyond the Gates, things are about to get bumpier, rougher, more dramatic, and action-packed. Expect reality checks, secret meetings, damaging declarations, and heartbreaking revelations. Andre opens up to Danny about his painful past. Eva's dad news drives a deeper wedge between Kat and Ted. And Vanessa turns pot stirrer. She gains control of one of Joey's prized possessions one day. And then the next, she causes a stir at the country club. Does this mean there will be pearl clutching the week of November 3-7? Monday, November 3rd, episode number 164-4. Anita is completely overwhelmed. While Vernon has a secret rendezvous, Derek asks Shanice for a favor, but gets a reality check instead. Eva has a major update for Leslie where Ted is concerned. Naomi takes her frustrations out on those closest to her. Tuesday, November 4th, episode number 165. Bill makes it clear to his ex where his allegiance lies. Jacob seeks expert help from Nicole. Hayley and Randy deal with a precarious situation. Vanessa gains control of one of Joey's prized possessions. Pamela presses Andre for answers. Wednesday, November 5th, episode number 166. Ashley makes a stunning discovery. Nicole extends an unexpected olive branch to Ted. Danny and Andre discuss his painful past. Leslie thinks it's only a matter of time before she and Eva are a family of 3. Vanessa and Joey are fiery, fearless, and dangerously intertwined. And this month, their portrayers delivered performances that set Beyond the Gates ablaze. One of Beyond the Gates' most daring duos is Lauren Buglioli and John Lindstrom. Vanessa McBride and Joey Armstrong are fun, flirty, dangerous, and don't seem like your average soap couple. She's the real estate agent who's currently trying to level up her business game, and he's the corrupt casino owner who's fallen under Vanessa's spell, yet is reluctant to relinquish any more of his power. In October, Vanessa and Joey dealt with the emotional fallout of Doug's death. The actors' performances soared in their scenes opposite each other, as well as in scenes with the rest of the BTG cast. Vanessa and Joey are unpredictable characters. Buglioli and Lindstrom have an amazing way of bringing these vibrant characters to life. In October, Vanessa's emotions ranged from intense to immense grief as she dealt with her husband's death. The guilt weighed on her. After all, she was in bed with Joey when she had her last conversation with Doug, before he met his end in a drunken one-car accident. But she didn't let that guilt define her. She had things to accomplish. She made sure her son returned to college. His presence meant she had to hide her double life with Joey. In the end, she wasn't about hiding at all. She had plans to take her association with Joey to the next level. It wasn't enough that they hooked up in beds and on top of casino poker tables. And it wasn't enough that they were in bed professionally, as she helped him launder money through her real estate agency. She wanted a bigger piece of the pie. She wanted a seat right alongside Joey. And so far, he's denying her this one thing. Buglioli played all the required emotions so well, from grief to gravitas. Her performance consistently hit the right beats. She was mesmerizing to watch as she kept Joey off kilter, clashed with Nicole, who judged her relationship with Joey. The recent scene featuring Danny and Vanessa, where Vanessa was finally able to open up about this thing with Joey, was so good. Vanessa remains unapologetic about this dangerous relationship that could end spectacularly badly. Meanwhile, Joey was the one to help usher Doug into the great beyond. He clearly wanted Vanessa all to himself. In October, he played that fine line of finessing Vanessa's son, Donnelly, who wanted answers about his dad. Joey made it look like he felt for the teen. He offered him a job at one point, admiring that he wanted to step up and take his dad's place as his mom's protector. But Joey ultimately wanted to be the one who took care of Vanessa, dealing with Ms. McBride keeps him on his toes. She's unpredictable even to him, and it's fun to see how Joey continually has to change his tactics when it comes to her. Additionally, Joey is increasingly interacting with the Fairmont Crest community types, such as Bill Hamilton. Joey is smart, observant, and completely diabolical. He has leverage over a congressman and won't hesitate to use that weapon when it serves him. And he isn't afraid to exert control over his other weapons at his disposal. This month, he went toe-to-toe with Elon Hawthorne and ensured the chief of police knew who the real boss was. Hawthorne wanted to be rid of the detective who answers to Joey. Joey said not so much. The man wins showdowns by hook or by crook, and it's because of Lindstrom that the character is so formidable. He is such a good actor. On General Hospital, he was believable as a psychiatrist and his sociopathic twin, and now he's supremely believable as the shady, mob-like entrepreneur who is as unapologetic as Vanessa is. In fact, his move from GH to BTG was perfect. BTG spoilers for Friday, October 31st, 2025, tease Hayley's run-in with Joey, while Bill wants to put her mind at ease. The Beyond the Gates spoilers for Friday, October 31st, 2025, suggest that tricks and treats are coming for the residents of Fairmont Crest. Hayley will get spooked by Joey. Meanwhile, Bill wants to buy his wife's peace without realizing the cost. Bill Hamilton wants to buy his wife peace of mind, while Hayley is rattled by a run-in with Joey. It was recently revealed that Hayley is a con artist who faked a pregnancy and miscarriage to keep her husband's attention on her and only her. Additionally, she wants to get her hands on his money, and she has an accomplice. Randy. Joey is already suspicious of Randy and Hayley's connection. While it was revealed that the two are cousins, Randy told Joey that he and Hayley were involved. That's why they have been spending time together. If Joey catches up with Hayley, it's easy to realize why this Halloween episode interaction may go bonkers, leaving Hayley rattled. Joey wants no trouble from Bill, and so Joey may need to lay down the law with Hayley. As for Bill, buying his wife's peace of mind may mean getting her something extravagant and letting her know that she's the only woman for him. Anita's twist to an upcoming annual event could help heal old wounds. This twist could have something to do with the Articulates. The majority of her storyline has involved her guilt in the death of the fourth member, Barbara Mitchell. Might this twist have something to do with Leslie? She is Barbara's daughter, after all. Eva gets a touching offer that promises to deepen one of her relationships. It's not known who this person is. However, this storyline could be related to newcomer Isaiah Hawthorne, with whom Eva has been spending a lot of time lately. Their bond is likely to deepen, leaving Tomas out in the cold. Finally, Madison is upset with Chelsea for butting into family business. Apparently, Madison isn't going to like the fact that Chelsea tries to fix the turbulent relationship between Madison and her mother. Just in time for Halloween, Mike Manning is getting into a friendly feud with Ghost star Asher Grodman. Beyond the Gates star, Mike Manning fired shots at Ghost star Asher Grodman on social media, but he decided to pay it forward with a nice gesture. It's Halloween, so everyone is getting into the spirit, even your favorite CBS stars. Manning received a sweet gift from Grodman. He described him as his new friend, but these two act like frenemies. Manning shared a hilarious video of his reaction on Instagram. "So I received some gifts from my new friend, Asher Grodman. You probably don't know who he is," Manning said. "He's on the show Ghosts on CBS, so let's see what he sent." He opened a box that contained all of the Ghosts merchandise, including a hat, a boo bag, a mug, snacks, and more. Manning was grateful for Grodman's thoughtful gift, but he had to set the record straight. "So, the thing that happened is that Asher made a video, fake apologizing for beating me in fantasy football. He also made fun of soap operas and said some other things," Manning explained before firing some shots. "They hurt my feelings. I was so sad as I was polishing my 2 Daytime Emmy Awards." The words "shots fired" appeared on Manning's video, accompanied by the sound of gunshots. But he wasn't done yet. He wanted to respond to Grodman's cruel comments. "First, I'll say, Asher, We were projected to get the same amount of points. There's no way that we would have known that James Cook and Rashi Rice would have blown up like that, okay? So enjoy your 6-2 victory for now. I don't care. I beat Jeremy Sisto. That's really what matters, Manning said. However, he had nothing mean to say about the show Ghosts, since he's a huge fan of the comedy. I actually think it's funny, despite you being on it. So that's just a testament to the cast carrying that dead weight, pun intended, the BTG star added. But he was inspired by Grodman's kind gesture. I'm going to pay it forward and send some gifts to CBS's page, Noah, to keep this going. Happy Halloween, he said. Manning's BTG co-star Jen Jacob said it best in the comments section. This is the content we all need. Meanwhile, other fans wanted the tea on their fantasy football rivalry. Here's what went down Tuesday, September 30th, 2025, on Beyond the Gates. When June got the real deal about her crush, Smitty and Martin switched roles, and Nicole did the Carlton. On Beyond the Gates, Kat proposed that she and Eva really could be close as sisters, even sharing things. Just then, Tomas emerged from Eva's shower, only a towel wrapped around him. Tomas stammered that he had been helping Eva move, while Eva said that the uninvited Kat wasn't owed any answers. You all are both garbage, Kat stated when she realized Eva and Tomas had had sex. Did you take a page out of my father's playbook? Kat asked, noting that Tomas had hooked up with someone else, despite having the perfect girl. Tomas reminded Kat that she had ghosted him. He thought their relationship was over. Kat fumed that Tomas had run right to Eva, who had planned to seduce him. Eva was honest. She had wanted Tomas, and she'd loved every second of it. Tomas decried Kat's name-calling of Eva, who commented that Kat had been a top-tier bitch to Tomas since forever. Tomas didn't want Eva getting into Kat, making him jump through hoops before finally offering up her virginity, or how Tomas hadn't lived up to Kat's expectations afterwards. Eva purred that she had shown Tomas what it was like to have a woman who really wanted him, and prophesied that men held on tight when they got what they wanted in bed. How could you? The hurt Kat asked Tomas, when she learned that he had shared details of their sex life with her rival. She wondered if it would be equally appropriate if she went to Tomas's boss, Bill, about their intimacy, with Eva making asides. When Kat stated that Tomas had gotten revenge on her, saying he was bad in bed by having sex with her half-sister, Eva called Kat out for finally acknowledging her as family, just so she could cast herself as the victim. Kat decried how everyone had insisted that she give Eva a chance. Kat added that she now knew Eva, who had gotten her degenerate DNA from their father. Tomas wanted Kat to direct her anger at him, but she would only thank him and Eva for making her day so memorable, taking back the Chelsea Cat purse she'd brought Eva as a peace offering as she stomped out. With Kat gone, Eva snarked, "When her claws come out, that bitch gets feral." Tomas felt that having sex with Eva had been impulsive, and he wished he hadn't done it. Eva begged to differ, saying that Kat had brought the situation on herself, and that Eva and Tomas had both known all along they would end up making love. They had only held back out of respect for Kat. Eva was stunned to hear Tomas implying that he had used her. Their encounter had meant something, but only because that they were friends. Eva felt that their connection had gone beyond friendship, and that Tomas was backtracking because he felt guilty. Tomas called what they'd done a beautiful escape, which stung Eva. She couldn't believe that Tomas still wanted Kat, and stood stone-faced as he reiterated that he and Kat had only technically been broken up. Tomas still hoped to share good times and conversations with Eva, who spat, "What, we supposed to just be bros now?" "Lose her," Eva finally said. They were the ones who were supposed to be together, and Eva had thought that Tomas had come to that realization at long last. When Tomas maintained that he was with Kat, Eva balked that, to him, she had just been some sexual experience to disprove Kat's words about his poor bedroom performance. Eva accused him of wanting to stay with Kat for the financial and vocational advantages, realizing in horror that she had acted just like her mother. Falling apart, Eva demanded that Tomas get out and never come back. Ted was incredulous to learn from Andre that he had married Danny in Vegas. Nothing like rebounding with a friend. Andre shrugged as Ted learned that his nephew had been reacting to Ashley's engagement. Ted saw Nicole entering the country club banquet room with Carlton, complaining that his wife was going out with his so-called best friend. Andre saw the glare that Nicole had shot Ted and wondered what he had done to her. Carlton and Nicole discussed the loss of Doug. Nicole admitted that she could happily strangle Ted in that moment, but she would be devastated if something happened to him. Across the room, Andre couldn't believe that Ted had slept with Leslie and pointed out that Nicole was mad at him as well because he had married Danny. Ted figured Nicole now hated marriage, and him and Andre on top of it, though he reckoned that he could turn things around if he could find Nicole's soft spot. Ted and Andre approached Nicole and Carlton's table. After Carlton countered Ted's compliment to Nicole with one of his own, Ted changed the subject and relayed how he didn't want Nicole venting her fury at him on Andre. Nicole felt that, if Andre were old enough to get married, he could take the heat, particularly once she learned that Andre and Danny weren't getting their promised annulment after all. Andre hit Nicole where it hurts by saying she didn't think of him as family anymore and implored her not to turn her back on Danny. Carlton and Ted bandied words as well, with Ted calling his colleague dumb as a box of rocks for not knowing his place. Nicole said that Ted had no call to question her about how she spent her time with Carlton, especially after he'd had sex with that disturbing individual. After Ted and Andre finished drowning their sorrows and left, Carlton expressed gratitude that Nicole was able to divulge the more difficult parts of her life with him. Nicole was amazed that Carlton felt sympathy for Ted. Carlton clarified that if it had been he who had messed things up with Nicole, he would climb every mountain to make things right with her. It pleased Nicole when Carlton said she was worth fighting for. In the lobby, Ted happened to see Carlton and Nicole sharing their first kiss. Joey hurried off his call with Marcel and stammered that Vanessa should be at home. Vanessa remarked that Doug had spent so much time in Joey's back room gambling, she half thought about holding his memorial there. While Joey suggested that Vanessa be with her devastated children, Vanessa announced that she needed to talk to the police. Joey realized that Vanessa was looking for something or someone to blame, so she could stop blaming herself and assured the widow that Doug's death hadn't been her fault. When Vanessa was self-critical about not stepping in with Doug about his drinking and gambling, Joey held that an addict who didn't want help couldn't be helped. Vanessa felt that Doug might have been in the state he'd been in because of her affair with Joey. Armstrong replied that Doug had taken some dangerous chances, and that was what had gotten him killed. Vanessa had been trying to make sense out of what had happened and kept going back to her final conversation with Doug. To Vanessa, Doug had been apologetic and hopeful for a reconciliation until he realized she was with Joey, and she wanted to know what had transpired between the call and the accident. Joey worked to convince Vanessa that she'd have to learn to be comfortable not knowing, but Vanessa refused, notifying Joey that her search for closure was going to begin with the crash site. Joey tried to dissuade Vanessa from visiting the scene of the accident and quietly probed to find out if the police had any reason to believe Doug's death had been caused intentionally. Vanessa reported that there had been no other vehicles present, so Joey counseled Vanessa to focus on making arrangements of Doug's funeral instead. Madison was glad to be with Chelsea after Allison had cut in on her online purse launch. The neurologist was thrilled when Chelsea showed her the event's stellar preliminary sales figures. Chelsea felt she had come into her own, and she was even grateful that Allison had called. Even though the experience had been terrifying at first, it had served to remind Chelsea that she had survived being kidnapped. She was ready to conquer the world again. With Madison's support, Chelsea went online and posted a live video thanking her fans and customers, and acknowledging that she had been the victim of a violent attack. The influencer confessed that, in its aftermath, she had wanted to withdraw into herself, but she added that that wasn't who she wanted to be. Chelsea encouraged those who were going through things to lean on their loved ones and believe in the path forward, even if it seemed invisible in the moment. After Chelsea clicked off, Madison kissed her approval. Kat came home upset about finding an essentially naked Tomas with Eva, so Madison took that as her cue to leave, allowing Kat to vent to Chelsea. After Kat wondered if there was a Dupree curse that made all men they were involved with cheat, she collapsed into Chelsea's arms. Chelsea noted that Kat and Tomas had barely been hanging on, and Kat realized that Chelsea had sent her to Eva's on purpose, figuring that Eva would be taking advantage of the rift. When Kat said she wanted Tomas back, Chelsea exhorted her cousin to hold out for someone better. It was truly over, Chelsea reasoned. But Kat didn't think so. She loved Tomas. "Did you just use the L word about someone who slept with your sister?" Chelsea asked, aghast. Chelsea didn't want to hear Kat's rationale that Tomas wouldn't have turned to Eva if she had been honest about her feelings for him, especially after watching Bill being emboldened by Danny's constant forgiveness of his indiscretions. Kat was convinced that she and Tomas had simply hit a rough patch, causing Chelsea to exclaim, "Girl, you didn't even like the sex with him!" Chelsea shot down every excuse Kat made for wanting to patch things up with Tomas, finally getting out of Kat that she simply didn't want to let Eva win. Naomi went to Orphe Jean's, telling June that she had informed the manager about June's conscientiousness in going beyond to return Naomi's wedding ring, which June had found in the restroom. "If I had a man that loved me the way Jacob loves you," June sighed. Naomi felt that June needed people in her life. The waitress had come to realize that she could find love someday and told her friend about having talked to a customer who was Morris Chestnut Gorgeous. June wanted romance advice from Naomi, who saw Jacob entering and teamed up with him to teach June how to approach a man and gently flirt with him. June couldn't wait to try the Hawthorne's examples on her guy, whose name she had seen on his credit card, Theodore Richardson. Jacob and Naomi were shocked to hear that June had been crushing on Ted. Naomi informed her friend that Ted was bad news. When Jacob concurred, the flustered June left the table, and Naomi told Jacob that there was no way she was also going to point out to June that Ted was the adoptive grandfather of June's children. And he was a part of that Martin and Marcel mess, Jacob remembered. Naomi had been under the impression that she and Jacob weren't going to discuss that matter further, but Jacob revealed that he'd been thinking about it because there had been another death that Joey had been peripherally connected to. When Jacob mentioned Doug telling him that he had information that could convict Joey, Naomi chalked up the claim to Doug's increasing use of alcohol. But after Jacob continued that Doug had said Joey had had someone murdered, Naomi began to wonder if Doug's life had intersected with Joey's. Jacob cited Doug gambling at Joey's casino as a potential tie between them. Martin made dinner for Smitty, to whom the meal recalled memories of a time before they had adopted Tyrell and Samantha. The couple remembered not being ready for parenthood, but jumping in anyway. And Smitty remarked that Martin had evolved recently. Martin was glad that Smitty had noticed, but stopped his attempted kiss and said that they needed to talk. The congressman opened up that Smitty had broken his heart after they'd had sex because Smitty had qualified that he'd only been getting his needs met. Seeing that Martin felt used, Smitty wanted to take his words back, but Martin felt that they needed to stop hurting each other. Done with sleeping on the couch like a nice uncle, Martin was leaving so he could figure out exactly what he and Smitty still meant to each other. Smitty objected that they were still partners despite their fights, but Martin was tired of walking on eggshells. Either he was fully a part of Smitty's life, or he wasn't a part of it at all. "But you'll be back, right?" Smitty wanted to know. Martin responded that he'd be back for the kids, but only for Smitty if Smitty was ready to accept him, flaws and all. Smitty was wrecked as Martin went upstairs to pack. Beyond the Gates, spoilers for Monday, November 3rd, reveal some bombshells in Fairmont Crest. Vernon Dupree has a secret meeting, while Eva Thomas has an interesting update about Ted Richardson. Plus, Shanice Johnson dishes out a reality check. Find out what's going down on the CBS soap below. Beyond the Gates, spoilers for Monday, November 3rd, suggest that Vernon will have a secret meeting. Will this involve another woman, or perhaps Joey Armstrong? Vernon seems to be hiding something from Anita Dupree, so fans may get some insight into what this might be all about. Speaking of, Anita will be overwhelmed with something. Is this about the winter charity event she is planning, along with her daughters, Danny Dupree and Nicole Dupree? Scene. Across town, Derek Baldwin will ask Shanice a favor. However, she'll give him a dose of reality. Will he continue to request that she keep his progress hidden from Ashley Morgan? Derek is doing well with his physical therapy, and there's a good chance he will be able to walk someday. But he's keeping it from his fiancée. He's bound to get caught, and when he does, Ashley will likely leave him. So will he do the right thing? This is a soap opera, and Derek is hiding a major secret, so the truth probably won't come out until right before or shortly after Derek marries Ashley. In other news, Beyond the Gates spoilers for Monday note that Eva will update her mom, Leslie Thomas, about Ted. Will she tell Leslie about Ted giving her the green light to call him Dad? Maybe she'll tell her about his holiday, plans, and how he wants to include her in family functions. Then again, this could be about something else. Finally, Naomi Hamilton will be frustrated about something and take it out on those closest to her. Will she have a meltdown about the marital problems she's experiencing with Jacob Hawthorne? Who will be there as she falls apart? What storyline are you most looking forward to during Monday's show? Share your thoughts. Tune into the CBS Soap Daily and check out CTS often for the best Beyond the Gates updates, spoilers, and news. Beyond the Gates spoilers for Friday, October 31st suggests some major drama as Fairmont Crest heads into the weekend. Hayley Hamilton is rattled by an encounter, while Eva Thomas gets an interesting offer. Plus, Chelsea Hamilton lands in trouble. Find out about what's going down during Friday's show below. Beyond the Gates spoilers for Friday, October 31st, reveal that Hayley will be rattled when she has a run-in with Joey Armstrong. As Joey caught Hayley in the casino with Randy Parker, he believes the two are lovers, not cousins. A good cover, considering that Randy and Hayley are con artists trying to poison Bill Hamilton. Or is it? Regardless, if Joey uses cryptic words during his conversation with Hayley, like, "I know what you are up to," this may be enough to unnerve her. In other news, Bill will do something in hopes that it will calm her down. Is this about his life insurance policy? Across town, Eva will get an offer that brings her close to someone in her life. She's been bonding with Isaiah Hawthorne lately, so will she be offered a job or opportunity that keeps him in her orbit? Beyond the Gates spoilers remind fans that last week Chelsea's gal pal, Dr. Madison Montgomery, was ready to cut off all ties with her mom. Chelsea's all about family, so it looked like, even though she was warned to stay out of it, she decided to meddle. During the Friday, October 31st episode, it sounds like Chelsea will get called out on butting in, and this will land her in some trouble. Could this seriously affect her romance with Madison? Lastly, Anita Dupree will hope that an event on the horizon will help heal old wounds. The closing credits of this week's show had fans buzzing as it seems Benita Brisker is bringing back her Sharon Winger role to the CBS soap on Friday's show. Can Sharon and Anita finally move past all their drama from yesteryear and become bona fide friends again? What storyline are you most looking forward to during Friday's show? Share your thoughts. Tune into the CBS Soap Daily and check out CTS often for the best Beyond the Gates updates, spoilers, and news. Beyond the Gates spoilers for Novo 307, 2025 find Chelsea Hamilton overstepping and Hayley Lawson in an absolute panic. As we always do on Early Edition Day, we talk about what's coming the rest of this week, and then we dive into what's ahead for next week. So on Thursday, October 30th, which is day one of November sweeps, by the way, we've got Derek Baldwin wanting to talk to Ashley Morgan about their wedding plans. And that comes after he runs into Andre Richardson. Clearly, Derek still feels really threatened by this guy, which is totally understandable. But if he keeps pushing Ashley too hard, that's going to be problematic. Plus, Dr. Ted Richardson tries to move forward, and so does Dana Leslie Thomas. I don't think they're moving forward together, though. Ted is not happy to see the devil who torments him, aka Leslie, ironically dressed up as an angel for Halloween. Dr. Nicole Dupree Richardson and Vernon Dupree on Thursday have plans to hand out Halloween candy at her place, and they hang out and they watch a scary movie together. It's a nice daddy-daughter day. Nicole is dressed up as a witch, but it looks like Vernon decided not to do a costume. And then, because she's terrible, Leslie shows up to Nicole's house uninvited saying, "Trick or treat." Obviously, she's one for tricks, not treats. And she's no angel. We know that. Nicole asks if anybody believes that Leslie is an angel. And then, of course, she turns it around and calls Nicole a witch. To be fair, she's in a costume. And I just don't know why she decided to interrupt them. Then other family members show up desperate for advice. I'm wondering if Samantha Richardson is going to show up to see her grandma Nicole, to bicker about what her two dads have done, coming down on her like a hammer over her making out with Nathan. But we all know it wasn't just making out. I love how the kids trying to tell Bradley, Smitty Smith, and Martin Richardson that the condom they found was part of a chemistry experiment. It's like, sure kid, more like anatomy, not chemistry. Also, Ted runs into Leslie at Uptown this week. He sees her costume and says angels can fall, and she tells him to hush. Plus, Tyrell Richardson impresses the girl that he likes, Jessica, when he defends his sister's reputation. I wonder if Nathan is going to run around and say some things about Samantha after he got busted by her dads, Martin and Smitty. Tyrell already warned Samantha that Nathan is a bad guy. She said that he's a horn dog who basically beds girls, and then he talks smack about them, and he doesn't want that for his sister. Friday, October 31st, we've got Bill Hamilton giving Hayley some peace of mind with something he buys. It's a very weird spoiler that he buys her some peace of mind. So maybe he's going to double that life insurance policy from 10 million to 20. You know, you should be careful when you're worth more dead than alive to the people in your life, especially when it's your second wife. So Bill still has no idea that he's in a version of the Kill Bill movie starring Hayley and that she's coming after him. Anita Dupree makes some surprising plans. It sounds like they might be for Thanksgiving. She is looking to find peace in her life and to help heal some old wounds by a gesture that she makes. The drag queen who looks like Anita and who did the vows for Danny Dupree and Andre in Vegas has been invited to Turkey Day. But I'm wondering if Anita might also invite Leslie along with Sharon Winger and Tracy Tyler, so that Leslie can meet her mom Barbara's other friends from the Articulates. That would be a really big gesture, and it might smooth the waters to some extent. Plus, Joey Armstrong puts a little scare into Hayley on Friday. And I wonder if Joey has figured out that Randy Parker and Hayley are conspiring against Bill. Joey is grilling Randy about what he's doing with Bill's little wife. And then Joey is going to grill little Hayley as well. Also, Eva Thomas gets an interesting offer that touches her. Maybe it's from her dad Ted, or maybe somebody else in the family. Maybe Peaches. Maybe they're going to do Thanksgiving together. Plus, Madison gets really upset when Chelsea interferes. And it looks like Chelsea is reaching out to Madison's estranged mom. And the pretty doc may not like it. She was having difficulty with her mom kind of, hurting her professionally. So, she had to cut ties with her on social media. And Chelsea isn't respecting boundaries. The week of November 3rd through the 7th is the first full week of November sweeps. We're going to have big action. We're going to get more developments with Vanessa McBride trying to set herself up to be a mob mall. She doesn't want to be married to the mob. She just wants to be sleeping with the mob with Joey and doing dirty business with him both personally and professionally. Also, Eva and Isaiah Hawthorne keep sparking despite Catherine "Cat" Richardson trying to stop them before they get started. Also, Derek is still working very hard to be on his feet for his wedding to Ashley, but I doubt Ashley is going to be happy about his deception. Shanice has warned him. Jacob has warned him. Derek is not listening. He has this whole fantasy in his head. He's going to stand up. He's going to pick up Ashley. And I mean, standing up? Yes, obviously he can do it. But I don't think it's a good idea to pick up the bride when you've been recently paralyzed. Plus, this is all obviously going to blow up in his face. Nicole tapped the brakes with Carlton this week and told him she still has feelings for Ted, even though she is 100% not going to reconcile with him. But Nicole said it's too soon to move on. And then Carlton said he can wait, and he gave her a kiss. But guess who's not waiting? Ted. But no, he is not moving on with Crazy Leslie, even though that's what she wants. And she basically told Nicole that she was going to get his ring on her finger. I don't see it happening. Beyond the Gates spoilers say that the lovely Shanice from the hospital is who Ted is going to start showing interest in, which I think is pretty fun. They know each other well. They've worked together for quite a while. She is gorgeous, and she's not crazy. That's helpful. Fallout for Chelsea comes next week from her meddling with Madison Montgomery's mom. Even Chelsea's followers told her, "Do not interfere." But Chelsea went and did it anyway. And I think we are going to see her and Madison's first big fight. And I do think that Chelsea is in the wrong. Madison is in the right about this. Also, is Bill's little wifey Hayley going to panic and give him too many drops of the poison at once because she thinks Joey is onto her and she needs Bill dead and that insurance check ASAP? Richardson family drama erupts at Nicole's. The Thursday, October 30th episode of Beyond the Gates featured family dysfunction on Halloween, no less. Vernon and a witchy Nicole tried to have a safe, scary holiday. Instead, Nicole's mansion erupted in drama, first from an angeled-up Leslie. Then Martin, Smitty, and Samantha invaded her place so Samantha could get some much-needed advice from her grandmother. At the same time, her brother had a confrontation of his own at Orphe Jean's. Samantha thinks she knows what she wants and who she wants to be. And at Nicole's, her grandmother takes her into what should be a safe space to talk about her dad's catching her in the act of making out with Nathan on their couch. But things were clearly headed for much more since Nathan, who did get Samantha's consent, had dropped a condom in front of the couch. Nicole was able to get the real story from her granddaughter, that she and Nathan were a situationship. They knew each other from school and hung out a couple of times, but Samantha thinks that she's mature enough to handle where things were heading. And while she asked Nicole if she could stay with her grandmother, it doesn't seem like she listened to the advice Nicole gave her. When Martin accidentally eavesdropped and discovered that Samantha was inspired to take things to the next level after Kat talked about sex with Tomas, the atmosphere grew significantly tense. Martin insisted that he was about to have a conversation with his sister. Samantha had to admit that she had only overheard Kat. She also expressed her wish to move in with Nicole, which left Martin and Smitty shocked. Samantha talks like someone who thinks she's grown up enough to have sex with someone, but ultimately, underneath it all, she's not putting any thought into the consequences of her actions. Is she ready for that? Why can't she and Nathan take the slow burn route? Meanwhile, at Orphe Jean's, Tyrell and Jessica, dressed in chess-related costumes, decided they wouldn't even attend the party that a grounded Samantha had desperately wanted to attend. But they first had to deal with Nathan. The duo overheard Nathan basically talking about taking Samantha's virginity and treating it like it was another addition to his body count. Ugh. Tyrell and Jessica both stood up to him, but Tyrell's refusal to back down in the face of this jock was much more impressive, especially to Jessica. Tyrell didn't need to use his fists. He comes from a family of people who know their way with words, and that's what he did. He used words to knock Nathan down a peg. Later, in the booth, Tyrell and Jessica were super sweet. They definitely seemed to be on the same page, and they connected. We'll see if these two will establish a lasting foundation, but so far, things are back on track for them. Rounding out the Richardson family drama in this first Halloween-themed episode was Ted. Spoilers suggested that he and Leslie would forge a new path forward. And that's kind of what happened. It just wasn't the ideal path for Leslie, but she seems to be dealing with it for now. Ted decided to put the past, including all his ugliness, Leslie's ugliness, and their drama, behind them so they could simply start a friendship. Will she ultimately let that happen, especially when Ted potentially gets a new love interest this holiday season? Because Leslie has proved to be territorial where Ted is concerned. We'll believe it when we see it. Drop your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you agree or disagree? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more updates. Your opinions matter, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you.